Hello and welcome to another instalment of the FlexFit mobility session. Today's a full body mobility session but with a key emphasis on the groin, adductors area as well as the ankles. So if you're feeling tight in those two areas in particular, this session will be perfect for you. For everyone else, it'll be a nice full body stretch. So if you have been watching my mobility videos, you know by now if you've got a mat, perfect, that will help you feel a little bit more comfortable. I personally forgot my mat today, and if you haven't done so already, take off your shoes and we'll get started. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a back mobility stretch. So this one is actually called a side windmill. So what I want you to do is lie down on your side. You want your hips squared, knees stacked on top of one another, and then you're just going to have your arms out to the side. So this is actually quite a similar stretch to another one I've done in a previous session, but it's just slightly different. So what you want to do with this hand is try to reach as far forward as you can. And then what we're going to do is then just draw a circle around your head. And just try to bring your arms all the way back so your hands is in line with your shoulders. Once you've done that, come back again, reach as far forward and then draw a circle with your index finger all around your head and then bringing your hands in line with your shoulders, trying to keep that hip and knee as still as you can. So we'll do a few more reps. As far forward as you can, and then draw a circle around your head, trying to keep your neck as neutral as possible throughout the movement. And then if you can, try to stop your knees from lifting up. And then just try to keep your eyes on your elbows all the time. And that just helps you keep your neck neutral. Okay, we'll just do one more rep here. And then we'll change side. So let's do the other side. I'll show you from this position this time so you can actually see. So arms out in line with your shoulders. With the other hand, we're just going to reach far forward, keeping your neck as neutral as you can. And then with your fingertips, just draw a circle around your head. And then just bring your hands so it's in line with your shoulders and then just bend it and then reach forward again. Imagine you've got blob paint on your finger and you're just drawing a circle around your head. So this is actually a really nice stretch for not only your thoracic spine but also your shoulders as well. And then we'll just do a few more reps. If you find you're tight anywhere in particular, so for example, I feel quite tight here, you can hold on to the stretch just that little bit longer in the areas you feel tight and just gradually move down into the position. And once you feel a bit of tightness again, hold. Or you can just do it dynamic, like what I'm doing. Just go with how your body feels. You can even pause this video and just spend a little bit longer doing this if you are tight. Okay, so we'll move on to the next stretch, and the next stretch I'm going to show you is called a dynamic up-down pigeon. So if you're familiar with the pigeon stretch, this is quite similar. I'm just going to show you a slightly different way of doing it just to target the groin area a little bit more. But this will also help you stretch your glutes as well. So what you want to do is go into that quadruped position. So your hips is in line with your knees. Make sure your shoulders is directly stacked over your hands. And then what you're going to do is just bring one knee forward. So I'm just going to bring that knee forward just slightly. And then I'm going to turn my foot so it's kind of like 7 to 8 o'clock. And then what I'm going to do with this leg is I'm going to bring it back, but I'm not going to bring it back straight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back slightly diagonally around about 4 or 5 o'clock. So I'm going to just bring it back diagonally and then just try stretch into it and hold on to that stretch. And that will stretch your glutes area, but also the groin. And then you're going to come back and then just bring the hips forward, straighten up, and then go again. Really sit into that stretch. So you're going to do 5 reps here. So sliding back into the starting position and then out again. Okay, and then we're going to change side. So I'll show you from the front this time. So in that quadruped position, just bring one knee forward slightly and then rotate it so your foot, your heels is going towards 7 to 8 o'clock. This leg goes diagonally backwards slightly, so we're aiming for 4 to 5 o'clock. And just gently stretch. You don't have to go as low down as I am. Just go down as far as it's comfortable for you. And then back to the starting position and out again. And same as the first stretch, if you feel tight in anywhere in particular, just hold the stretch a little bit longer. And then we'll do 2 more reps. Just make sure you're going diagonally back all the time. If you feel tight here, just hold on to the stretch a little bit longer. And again, your chest doesn't actually have to be that low. If you find it uncomfortable, you can lift your chest up a little bit higher. Go with whatever feels comfortable for your body. Okay, so let's see what I've got next. Okay, so the next one is called a tactical frog, which is a really great stretch if you're feeling really tight in this area. So there's 2 different ways you can do this. You basically want to start in the quadruped position, but depending on how tight it is, you can either stay on your hands like this, or you can drop onto your forearms to get a deeper stretch. So go with whatever feels most comfortable. So once you're in this position, you just basically want to bring your knees out as wide as you can. So I'm going in this position. Just bring your knees out as wide as you can. Make sure the inside of your knee is against the floor, and then you want the side of your foot, so this part of your foot, against the floor as well. So it's almost like a frog position. Go as wide as it feels comfortable. So if you can't go too wide, that's fine. Just go whatever's comfortable, and you can also come up onto your hands as well. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Just make sure when you're in that position, you're protracting your shoulders. So push your forearm against the floor to round your shoulders slightly so it's protracted. And if you want to, just stay in this position for a little bit. If it does feel tight, you can even wiggle around here. Go whatever you feel. Me personally, I'm quite tight around this groin area at the moment. So I'm just going to kind of like stay in this position, just move around, just gently ease my body into it. Go whatever feels comfortable. Draw circles if you want to go forward, backwards, side to side, whatever you'd like. And then when you're ready, we're just going to go into the stretch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift my heels off the ground, and then I'm just going to slightly rotate it. So I'll show you. So I'm going to lift my foot off the ground, and then I'm just going to slightly rotate so my heels come towards me. My hips is going to come down to the floor, if you can get it down to the floor, and what that does is it gives you a slight hip extension. And then I'm going to come back and bring my heels back to the floor. So out And again, this is one of those stretch that we feel so much more comfortable if I had a mat on me. So we're going to do 5 reps here. Just take your time with this. And it's okay for your hips to touch the ground, or if you can't get it to the ground, that's fine as well. Just make sure you're protracting your shoulders all the time. Okay, and don't forget you can also do it on your hands as well. So you can, if you're doing it on your hands, you might find you can't bring your hips to the ground, but that's fine, you're still getting that hips extension. Just take your time with the stretch. Do whatever feels most comfortable for you. Okay, and then just very slowly come out of that position. Okay, so next we're going to give your adductors a little bit of a break, and then we're going to look at ankles. So the 4th stretch I'm going to show you is the ankles calf stretch. So what I want you to do is sit down with your legs in front of you. And what you want to do is tense your thighs. So really tense your thighs, sit up, trying to keep your hips and your legs as still as you can. Have your hands just behind you so you're fully supported. And then we're going to just draw really big circles. Imagine there's a blob of paint on each of your big toe. And we're going to try draw circles. So you're going to point your toes, draw really big circles, and out, trying to keep everything as still as possible. And if you find you're struggling, you don't have the ankle flexibility, what you can also do is just break the movement down so we can actually go forward, backwards, forwards, backwards, and then side to side. Or continue with the rotation, whatever feels most comfortable. You could even hold on to one leg and just concentrate on one leg at a time. So drawing circles, or forward, back, and then side to side. And by holding on to your legs, it just means the rest of your legs doesn't try to do the work as much, and it's just left to your ankles to do the full stretch. So go forward, backward, side to side, and then draw big rotations. So there's different ways you can do that. Both feet together, or break the movement down, or isolate each side. Entirely up to you. If you feel you are quite this tight around the ankles, there's not as much movement, maybe spend a little bit longer on this stretch. Even add it to your routine as well. So add it to your warm-up routine, add it to your stretch after a workout. The last stretch I'm going to show you is a really nice groin stretch, and I'm going to show you different levels. So we're going to start off really nice and easy. We're going to go into this high plank position. So I'll show you from here. I'm in a high plank position. Make sure your hands is directly stacked under your shoulders. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my foot towards my hands. So you might find your foot doesn't come next to your hand. If it's out here, that's fine. What you can do is just use your hands just to move it forward, or just move your hands back so you're still getting that big stretch. And then from here, just hold that stretch. Make sure this leg you're pushing down through your knees, through your toes, and this one, everything's pushing downwards. And just hold. And then you can return your knees. And it's up to you if you want to come back into the high plank position or just go from here. Just make sure you get a nice big stretch. Hold. So for some of you, this might be enough of a stretch. And if not, for some of you, you might not actually feel a lot from it. Depends on how tight you are. So I'm going to show you some different variants. So we're just going to go for a slightly bigger stretch. So again, bringing your foot towards your hands. This time, what we're going to do is just rock side to side, like that. And this just helps stretch your groin and inner thighs just that little bit more. If that feels quite comfortable for you, what you can do then is just bring your hands to the outside of your leg, and then that just gives you a slightly bigger range of movement. And then you could even take your hands away and back to the center. And then we can do on the other side. So go with whichever version feels comfortable. Just bringing your foot towards your hands, or hands inside the foot, going side to side. You can even again draw circles. Or if you find a certain spot feels really tight, like for example, like here, you can just hold and stretch. Okay, and then hands on the outside, just experiment a little bit, because everybody's different. Different people are have different tightness, and you might just find it's all about finding that spot where you can feel the strongest stretch for you. Okay, and those are the 5 mobility stretches that I've chosen for today's session. So it's mainly groin focus with a little bit of ankle, a little bit of back work. Find any of these, if you find any of these stretches great for you, or you find it really beneficial, add it to your routine. That's probably the best thing. And then areas that are tight will eventually get a little bit looser, and that will help you more. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with another one very soon. Goodbye.